Alright, let's jump right into this explainer and uncover the wild physics of heat transfer that are literally keeping your computer's brain from, well, a catastrophic thermal death. You know, beneath your keyboard, there's actually an intense, fiery battle happening every single second. So today, we're going to break down exactly how your machine survives this daily ordeal by looking at the pure physics of cooling.
Section 1. The CPU heat problem.
So we got to start with the CPU itself. To do all the incredible things it does, whether that's rendering 3D graphics or running crazy complex algorithms, it constantly draws power. And as you might guess, with massive power comes massive thermal output. It gets intensely, dangerously hot.
But here's the catch. What happens if that heat has absolutely nowhere to go? The system doesn't just get a little sluggish. No, without a rapid cooling mechanism, that silicon will literally overheat and completely fail. Controlling this thermal energy isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a matter of absolute machine survival.
Section 2. Enter the heatsink. This is where human engineering swoops in to save the day. Engineers attach a heatsink directly to the motherboard to solve this fiery problem. It's a pretty brilliant cycle, actually. The copper base makes physical contact with the CPU, instantly absorbing that extreme heat. Then a fan blasts cool air across the copper fins to cool them both down. The air warms up as a result and is exhausted completely away from the computer. In some heavy-duty setups, this exhaust air is so hot that the server room needs massive air conditioning just to handle the extra thermal load. Section 3. 3 ways heat moves. Let's zoom out a bit and look at the actual physics making this entire cooling process possible. Our universe really only has 3 primary methods for moving heat around: conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's break down how each one of these behaves. First up is conduction. This one is all about direct physical contact. Heat naturally wants to move from a warmer object to a cooler one, but for conduction to happen, they literally have to touch. It's exactly why grabbing a hot pot on the stove instantly burns you, or why holding an ice cube freezes your fingers. Your skin becomes the physical bridge for that thermal energy to cross.
Next up is convection. Now this one relies on fluids or gases being in physical motion. If you've ever wondered why the second floor of a house feels like a literal sauna while the basement is freezing cold, you are experiencing convection firsthand. Hot air physically rises and moves. The same goes for using a fan when you're sweating. It physically blows the hot air away from you so cooler air can rush in and take its place.
And finally, we have radiation. No touching, no moving fluids, no gases, just pure electromagnetic waves transferring heat across space. It's that invisible force warming your face on a bright sunny day, or the exact science cooking your leftover food in a microwave. It's just invisible waves doing all the heavy lifting without a single point of physical contact. All right, Section 4, testing heat transfer.
Let's actually put this to the test with a quick mental experiment. Imagine placing one ice cube directly on a highly conductive copper heatsink and another ice cube on a regular paper towel. Which one do you think melts faster? Well, because copper is engineered for rapid heat transfer via conduction, it violently pulls the ambient heat into the ice cube, melting it incredibly fast compared to the insulating paper towel. While those ice cubes are melting in our minds, let's run through a quick rapid-fire quiz. I'm going to throw some everyday scenarios at you, and let's see if you can identify which of our 3 heat transfer methods is at play. Ready?
Scenario 1. You blow on a warm cup of tea to help it cool down. Are we looking at conduction, convection, or radiation?
Okay, next scenario. You place a pot of water directly on a hot stove. What kind of heat transfer is this one? That is conduction, all because of that direct physical contact with the hot burner. How about when you're feeling chilly and you step right into direct sunlight to warm up? That is pure radiation, traveling millions of miles through the vacuum of space just to hit your skin. There's no liquid or gas carrying that heat.
Last one. You jump into a swimming pool and instantly feel the freezing cold water against your skin. Which heat transfer method explains that immediate chill? Because your warm skin is directly touching the cooler water, your body is losing heat through conduction.
And this is where the whole picture comes together. This stuff isn't just academic trivia. Understanding conduction, convection, and radiation lets engineers manipulate nature. They use the exact same physics that cool down a cup of tea to keep our high-powered digital world from literally melting down.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Take a second, look around your room right now, and ask yourself, how are the invisible forces of heat transfer interacting with your own body at this exact moment? Thanks so much for exploring with us.